Picture this. You just organized a community cleanup event and you need to confirm attendance with 50 volunteers. You're spending hours sending individual texts, wondering if there's a better way. If you're running a nonprofit, you know how challenging volunteer communication can be. You're struggling to keep volunteers engaged and informed without breaking your budget on expensive communication tools. Emails get buried in inboxes and phone calls take forever. You need something that actually reaches people. But most solutions cost too much for your limited budget. Here's something that might surprise you. Text messages have a 95% open rate within just 3 minutes. Compare that to email, which averages around 20% open rates. Today, I'll show you how to use Twilio's free trial integrated with Knack to send automated SMS confirmations to your volunteers, and it won't cost you a penny to get started. Before we dive into building this automation, let me explain what we've set up beforehand and what you'll need to get started. We've already created a volunteer management app in Knack using AI. This took just a few minutes. The app includes a volunteers table where people can sign up for events, entering their name, phone number, event details, and preferred date and location. Now, here's what you need to have ready. First, you're going to need to sign up for a Twilio account. And the great news for nonprofits is that Twilio actually gives you a free $100 in credits to specifically nonprofit organizations. Plus, they offer ongoing discounted pricing for text and voice messages. When you set up your Twilio account, you'll get two important pieces of information: your account SID and auth token. These are private credentials that you need to use to connect your Knack app to Twilio's messaging service. Once you have your Twilio account ready, let's build an automation that sends instant SMS confirmations whenever someone signs up to volunteer. Now that we have everything set up, let's create our first automation flow. We'll start by building a system that automatically sends welcome messages to new volunteers. In the left-hand navigation menu, let's click the Flows icon to navigate to Flows in Knack. You'll see this takes us to the main automation dashboard. This is where we're going to manage all of our Knack flows. In the upper part of the screen, we're going to click the Create Flow from Scratch button to begin building our new automation. This opens up a blank canvas where we can design our volunteer messaging system. For this next part, we need to set up what will trigger our automation to run. On the right side of the Add a Trigger section, let's click the plus icon to open the Trigger Configuration dialog. This is where we tell the system when to send our messages. In the Setup a Trigger dialog, we're gonna choose the Knack app from the drop-down list as our source app because our data lives in the Knack application. Next, we're gonna select the record created event to determine what specific action will trigger our flow. This means our automation is gonna run whenever someone new signs up to volunteer. Now, all we need to do is to connect this to our Knack app. Let's select Community Volunteering from the connection list to link our Knack flow to this application. Under the Additional Parameters section, we're gonna click the Tables dropdown to specify which table to monitor. We're gonna select volunteers from the table list so that our flow triggers when a new volunteer signs up. And no carrier pigeons are needed for this, so don't worry. When you're ready, click the Continue button at the bottom right to save this trigger configuration. In the next section, we're gonna need to make sure that phone numbers are formatted correctly for text messaging, because if the numbers aren't properly formatted, the messages may fail to send. In the middle of the screen, just below our configured action, let's click the plus icon and then select Tool to add a data processing step to our flow. This tool will actually clean up phone numbers before we send the messages. In the tool selection list, let's select the phone number formatting tool to add it to our flow. In the tool configuration dialog, we'll choose the phone number from the volunteers table as the original phone number for our source data. Now we're gonna need to set the format. Let's click the phone number mask field and select country code from the drop-down list to ensure our numbers work internationally. Once you've configured everything, you can click on Save to confirm the tool's settings. All right, now we're ready to set up the actual text message sending. At the bottom of the flow, we're gonna click the plus icon and select Action to add our final action step. This is where we're actually going to send the message out. In the Add an Action dialog, we're going to choose the Twilio option as the app where we intend to transfer the data to. This connects our flow to Twilio's messaging service. After that, we're going to select the Send SMS action from the action list to configure our flow for text messaging. Now we need to connect our Twilio account. From the Connect Your Twilio app dropdown, we'll select Twilio, which we already connected to Knack. If you haven't done it yet, you can click Add Linked App and use your personal account SID and auth token from Twilio to connect. To move forward, you can click the Continue button to proceed to the SMS configuration. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna configure the actual message details. In the SMS config dialog, we'll choose from ID from the volunteers table to the new record and its ID as our sender identifier. For the recipient, we're going to select a formatted number from the list to use the correctly formatted phone number. This number is the recipient's phone number that is initially coming from the volunteers table. It's just formatted. Now here's where we're going to actually craft the message. In the message body, we'll enter, hello, name first. Thank you for signing up for the event name on date at the location. We appreciate your support in keeping our community clean. Once everything looks good, we can click on save to confirm our SMS configuration. Awesome. Now let's activate our automation. In the upper right-hand corner of the screen, we're just going to click on the start button to turn on our newly configured flow. In the confirmation dialog, let's click the go to flow log button to navigate to the logs where we can monitor our automation's activity. No messages are there because we need to wait for volunteers to actually sign up, and we can't automate enthusiasm, not yet. But we can send a test message. So let me show you how this works in action. When someone signs up for our community cleanup event, this automation springs into action immediately. Let's navigate to the phone messages to see what volunteers receive. Here's the message that just arrived. Hello, Dimitri. Thank you for signing up for the community cleanup on 7/8/25 at the park. We appreciate your support in keeping our community clean. Knack parsed the name, Dimitri, my name, event community cleanup, date 7/8/25, and location park perfectly, just as we configured it. And there's no typos unless Dimitri, meaning me, spelled his name wrong, and we really can't help me with that. Yeah. The volunteer gets instant confirmation with all the event details, and you don't have to lift a finger. This automation works 24/7, ensuring every volunteer feels welcomed and informed the moment they sign up. So if you're ready to transform how you communicate with volunteers, make sure to try out Knack.com and Twilio using this automated system. Your volunteers will appreciate the instant confirmation, and you'll save hours of manual work. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.